What's up, guys? Enkiri here, and welcome to vlog number 78. I've got a pretty basic training session for you guys today, but let's not confuse basic with easy, because the work I'm doing here is anything but easy. But I like to keep things simple because it makes it easier for my brain to keep track of just what in the hell I'm doing. So we're back around to the overhead pin press work here, which I'm pairing up with some heavy dead hang chin-ups. I'm using 165 pounds for the pin press work, which I do believe the last time I showed you guys this training session, I was using this same weight. However, I was able to add a few extra reps in here compared to the previous session. I'm pretty sure I hit 4 sets of 4 reps in the last session, and this time I was able to hit 3 sets of 5 reps. I ended up failing the 5th rep on the 4th set, but that's still a damn solid turnout for me overall, and I'm pretty happy with it for the moment. At this point, I actually almost like these presses off of pins more than regular standing presses, and I'm not really sure why. I think with these, it's a little bit harder to control the bar path. Like sometimes it just gets away from you and ends up out in front of you, which makes sense because the weight isn't resting in your hands. So you're basically trying to go from 0 to 100 as fast as possible. But I really like the feeling of explosiveness that I get driving the bar off the pins, which isn't something that I feel like I get nearly as much of when I'm holding the bar in my hands. However, at this point, I've shifted my training focus away from strict pressing for the time being and on to push pressing instead, which I'll probably continue with for maybe a month or two and try to hit some push press PRs. But after that, when I switch the focus back onto strict pressing, I'm thinking I might make this pin press the primary pressing variation and the one that I use to gauge my strength on and test my strength with, rather than the traditional standing press. I just like this one more for whatever reason. I've never even tested a max here, so I don't even know that I can move more weight this way, and I have no reason to believe that I can, but I've simply grown to prefer this variation lately for whatever reason. And in terms of overall and long-term strength development, I really don't think it matters whether you're doing freestanding presses or overhead presses off of pins. Anyway, as you can see, I've paired these presses up with some heavy chins, with all reps being done from a dead hang in the bottom position. I'm up to 97.5 pounds on these, and I'm still just doing 5 sets of 3 reps once a week for all my chin-up work at the moment, and these are coming along pretty damn nicely right now. The triples in this session all felt pretty easy, honestly. I got a little bit fatigued toward the end there, and the last one was a tad bit more difficult, but it was still pretty comfy, and overall I think all the reps moved quite solidly. I've never actually focused on dead hang reps on the chin-up like this before, so it'll be interesting to see how this affects my strength and everything once I start to incorporate some heavier work down the road. If you were following my channel early last year, then you know that I was really killing the chin-ups during that time. That was the last time I had truly focused on them, and I was doing them twice a week with 1 volume day and 1 heavy day, and I was smashing PRs left and right on the heavy day for a while there, and I actually ended up hitting a double with 135 pounds and a single with 145 pounds back in like either May or June. So my goal for right now is to still get this up to double body weight for a new PR, which would be about 155 pounds or 160 pounds of additional weight on the dipping belt. That's probably going to take some time because I don't feel quite as strong right now as I was back then. So for now, I'm just trying to focus on putting in some quality work on the exercise and just slowly building up my baseline level of strength. Anyway, after the first 4 sets of pin presses from shoulder height, I moved the pins up a couple notches so I could do a few sets from forehead height. This spot is kind of like the start of the sticking point on the exercise, so it's a little bit awkward to begin from a dead stop in this position. Overall though, I'm not really weaker or stronger here. It's just cumbersome. You have to lean back a little bit, otherwise your head gets in the way, and then it's impossible to start the lift because the bar is too far out in front of you. I think it's a good spot for me to work from though. I'm not sure that it's going to help with my pressing strength off the shoulders, but in terms of just building up overall brute strength, I think including these is probably a good idea. I also hit one set from the lockout position, mostly just for shits and giggles. I don't think this position actually really has enough range of motion to be meaningful for building strength. You can crank out a lot of reps and get a decent tricep pump, so maybe from a hypertrophy perspective it has some value, but in terms of strength carryover, I don't think it really does. So honestly, I've been skipping it most sessions because it just becomes hard for me to be motivated to do shit that I deem as having very little value. And I finished up the day with a quick burnout set of face pulls. I can't remember how much weight I was using here, and I can't tell from the video, and I don't feel like getting up to look at my training log, so I guess we'll never know. Not that it really matters anyway on an exercise like this. I'm just trying to get some reps in and work the upper back and rear delts a little bit after all that pressing work. And so, mission accomplished in that regard. You can see I stop a couple times here, rest for a few seconds, and then continue. I just start something like this off with a total rep number that I want to do in my head, and then I stop and restart as many times as I need to get to that rep number. It's good stuff though. I get a nice little upper back pump from this, so it's a good way to finish things off. Anyway, that is pretty much all I got for now, guys. Please be sure to like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and definitely leave me some love in the comments down below. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.